Hey everyone, it's Martin and Chelsea Matthews. We're here in our office today, and today we wanted to talk to you about something that's actually very, very important to the both of us. That is being in business with your spouse, your significant other. We're going to talk about what that's like and what are the ups and downs that you do and that you might face in business, or even if you are in business and the other person's working a job. How do you navigate those kinds of things? So things like that, we're going to talk about those today. So now, what would you say it's like being in business with this handsome man over here?
Well, I would say it's exciting, it's awesome, and it can be terrifying sometimes. I would say not now so terrifying, but earlier in our business and earlier in our relationship, there was some terrifying, scary things.
You said that before, so what do you mean by terrifying? What is terrifying?
Okay, so because all of the unknowns of building a business and of a new relationship, like working out how we communicate with each other, how we make financial decisions together, how we make business decisions together, and then also like being parents, how we make decisions as parents. So everything is all together, whereas if somebody has a job, they kind of go out and they do their own thing, they make their own decisions, and then they come back together as a family. But when you're a business, a relationship, parent, then it's like all of it combined. You have to do everything. So if the business fails or if the business doesn't do well, then like there's no other job or other backup. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And so when we were kind of navigating through in our relationship, financial things, business things, then we're figuring it out. And so things didn't always go right. And sometimes we might have a conflict in our relationship. And so then you still have to like focus on doing business things and making business decisions. And you have to be able to separate it, and you have to be able to work together no matter like what's going on in your personal or business relationship.
Yeah. So let's give viewers some context. Now, when Chelsea and I met, I have been in the financial industry for a few years. We have a financial business. And I've been in the financial industry for a few years. Chelsea was re-entering the financial business. She had been in and around the business before. She had done real estate, different things like that. And then she wanted to re-enter the financial industry again in that same kind of role I was in. So she was studying for licenses, things like that. And so when we met, at that time, she was a single mom for how many years at that point?
7 years.
So she had been a single mom for 7 years.
I was mom and dad, and I didn't need no man telling me what to do or taking care of my kid or saving me. I was a very independent woman. So that brought some conflict and challenges.
That did initially.
On its own in our relationship and in our business.
So did you get Mother's Day and Father's Day cards?
I think, yeah, I did. I did, yeah.
All right, so when she and I met, we had...
So then I had to share the holidays,
Yeah,
too.
then you got to share it. So when we have a son, his name's William, and so he's 14 years old now. So we have been together for a number of years now, but when we met, I had to also step in the role as kind of business partner because she started learning a little bit of the financial business from me. And then I'm also stepping in the role of kind of being a stepdad in a way initially. So a lot of these things combine beyond just, how sometimes people get married and they have kids together and then they decide to go start a business together. We had this other element of me jumping into the picture and, after 7 years of her being a single mom. Talk about what was that experience like, you being a single mom and then trying to start this relationship and then get involved in business together all at the same time?
It was tough because I had decided not very long before we actually met that I didn't need a man, I didn't need a relationship, I was never going to get married.
She was an independent woman.
I did not need any of that. I was fine by myself. But what I realized one day is that by me making that decision for myself, I was cheating my son out of having a father in his life because his biological dad is not in his life. And so I was like making that decision for him. So then I thought, because so many decisions in my life were made because of my son. Like things that I wasn't doing for myself. When I became a parent, I was like, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm making these good decisions for my son because now I'm responsible for another life. So I thought, okay, well, maybe I could be open to a relationship one day. So then I started thinking, well, like what kind of relationship would I want to have? And so then I made this whole list of like every quality and everything that I would want in a man if I were to consider, being in a relationship. And so then something like, I realized something, looking at this list of all these things that I wanted, is I was like, oh, I have to become the kind of person that would attract that person with all of those qualities.
That's a great tip right there, everybody.
Yeah, it kind of like smacked me in the face. Here I'm thinking about everything that I would want, and then I realized, oh, that other person's probably going to want some things too. They probably have some qualifications. If I'm going to find this great, amazing man with all these qualities, he's probably just going to not want, any old girl. He's going to want a girl with some good qualities too.
He's gonna want the girl for him.
Yeah, so I had to start working on myself and making sure that I had those same qualities so that I would deserve a man like that. And then guess what? As soon as I started doing that, this guy popped up in my life. Yeah. And I did not think I was ready. I was thinking, oh, maybe in a few years, down the road. But when you get clear about what you want and you become the person who deserves and earns what you want, then it shows up. And so I kind of tried to fight it at first because I was like, oh, this is happening too fast. But I couldn't fight it because you had so many of the qualities that I would want in a man, and all of our goals were aligned. Our business was aligned, all of these things. And so then I realized I had to kind of like catch up.
Yeah, and that's an important point. It's like when people are trying to go be in business together, you've got to understand where both of you guys are going. Sit down and write joint couple goals or family goals and say, this is what we're trying to do as a unit. Before you meet somebody, you got to have your own goals. So you've got one person with their goals, another person with their own goals. They come together, now they're in a relationship. Well, how do you actually make joint goals, things you both want to do together as a family? Where do you guys want to go as a family, as a team, as a unit? And so once you can get that in place and you guys know where both of you are going, then it becomes a lot easier for how do you split up the roles. So he's like, okay, this is where we're going together. And it also helps you to not sweat the small stuff. Because I promise you, there will be times where it all doesn't go well, where you might disagree or whatever, or something interpersonal might lead into the business. But if you know where you guys are going as a team, as a couple, then you know that, hey, we can't sweat the small stuff because we have bigger goals. So it's very important to have big goals so that it keeps you focused on them and not let the small stuff kind of take you off path.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And that makes me think of, so that has helped us get through a lot of difficulties, is having our big picture goals that we've set together and knowing that no matter what's happening now, like if we're having a conflict or not agreeing on something, or maybe business isn't going exactly the way that we wanted, it's like we have our eye on the prize and we know we're going to get through it and we know where we're going. Yeah. And so one thing that has really been crucial in our business, because we work together, we can't do all of the same tasks. And so it was really, really, really important to get clear on what we're good at and what we're not good at. And that was tough for me because seeing you already in business and very knowledgeable and helping people and helping clients, is I felt like I had to be good at all the things that he was good at, and I wasn't. And so I felt I didn't have a lot of confidence, and I felt like I had to be good at all of the things that he was doing. But when I let that go, and when I looked at what are my strengths, what are my skills, what do I bring to the table, then I realized those are not his strengths. And so we balance each other out. And so and then I started building my confidence in knowing the things that I'm good, knowing the things that I'm good at and what I bring value, because a lot of the things that I do in our business isn't directly resulting in income. Like, it's not a direct sale. I'm not selling directly to the clients. And so for me, I felt like, oh, it's not as valuable because I'm not actually bringing in the money. And I had these like mom and dad, I was mom and dad before, so I had to bring home all the bacon. And so that was a little bit hard for me to like let go of. But when I saw the value of all the things that I do to help in the business and to help him do the things that he does so well, then we can expand and then we can grow because we're both doing our strengths. And as we grow and bring more people into our business, it's even important to know that too, to be able to look at what are their strengths and skills so you can place them in those posts so that they can be doing their best.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, before we wrap up this video, we do want to kind of show you one of the most important things, most important aspects of what makes both a relationship and a couple in business together work. And before we do that, I want to remind you about our book, Let's Fight About Money. It's a book where we talk about how we've navigated through any financial conflicts, how we communicate about money, handle conflicts to build an unbreakable financial house. So you can find it on Amazon or go to our website at letsfightaboutmoney.com and get yourself a copy of the book. It'll be very helpful to people. A lot of people just give us great feedback on it. So, all right, so follow us. Let's go. I want to show you one more thing as to the key to being successful in business as a couple. So if you can, put one of these in your office. Okay. So one of the most important things in business as a couple, I will show you one of the ways that we demonstrate that in our business. So follow us here, right around this corner, and this right here. Have fun.
Ta-da.
One of the biggest things in business and in life as a couple is, look, you gotta play, because life and business can get extremely serious, right? So it can be super serious. It can be a very stressful thing. You're trying to produce. You're trying to make money. But at the same time, you want to come up here? See? At the same time, you want to make sure you're having a good time, and that's a reminder I always try to tell myself. And Chelsea's always really good at that. She always reminds me. She always reminds me to make sure we're having fun with everything we're doing. So.
Well, I think it really helps, especially in the tough times, when you're having tough times in your relationship or in your business, is to always look at things like a game. Because if you're playing a game, then you can make it fun. It doesn't have to be so serious, and especially in our business having to do with money, that can be very serious. Yeah. And if in your business, maybe your money, you're a little stressed about money or something. So the more light and fun that you can make things, the more you can lighten up, the more fun you have, and the more it translates in your business to your clients as well. Yeah. The more fun they have, the more they want to do things with you because you're fun.
Exactly. So that's one of the key things. That's been something that's been very helpful to us. We do a lot of things together. We go to the gym together. We travel a lot together. We're in business together. We do lots of different things together. We do personal development together. We do things related to our church together. All of these kinds of things, we do a lot of activities together. And, life's more enjoyable if you're having a great time. So don't ever forget that when you're in business together. Even when you're going through tough times, make sure to find the humor, find the fun. We even coach our son's soccer team together. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of togetherness, but it's because we like each other's company. So always make sure that you're putting the family first, you're building a great business, and you're reaching your goals together for the future.